My favorite holiday of all time is here. You know, the one with Santa Claus. Now, let's set the mood in here. Can we get some snow? Yeah. Now, Santa Claus is always trying to say we are naughty and nice, but I think we need to look into him. Now, this one definitely isn't named Saint Nick, and he definitely isn't from the North Pole. Now, William Willie Soke was born May 10th of 1959 in Jacksonville, Florida, or was he? See, now this is what you call a serial liar because in his mind, he also says he was born August 4th in Little Rock, Arkansas, even though his license and police records say otherwise. A clear fact, though, is that he was born to Sonny Soke, and she is a replica of him. Maybe because she's only 13 years older than him. His dad was in his life, but we don't have a name for him. But he was hella abusive to Willie to the point that he would punch him in the back of his head every day for fun. He also had a brother that he mentioned that fought in Vietnam, and he himself was also drafted by Lyndon B. Johnson. I'm starting to believe Willie is out of his mind because Lyndon B. Johnson was in office from 1963 to 1969, and to legally enter the war, you had to be 18. Him being born in 1959 would make him eligible for war in 1977, and by that time, Johnson was out of office, so it's no way in hell that he could have been drafted by him. But if his brother was in Vietnam, then they may have different mothers because Willie's mom, Sonny, is only 13 years older than him, so that would put her at being born in 1946, which would also make his brother have to be born around the same time to be able to fight in the Vietnam War. One thing about his daddy, though, dude was a PDF file if that's true because of the age gaps here. As he got older, he ended up getting married twice, but of course, that ended in divorce. These women have yet to be found. Now that we got the family out the way, let's move along to the 70s. Willie was a decent kid, a Jewish kid, and he was heavily abused by his mom and dad, and to be honest, he hates her more. At 11 years old, his mom committed a crime, and he ended up taking the blame for her. 9 times out of 10, he went to juvie.
Look, I'm not gonna pretend I was a perfect mother.
Yeah, no You made me take the fall for you when I was 11.
I'm thinking it's around Christmas time because that's when most of the adult crimes happen, but it wouldn't be the last time he had seen trouble. Willie was a drunk, a hardcore drunk, and it ended him up being in some pretty screwed up places. He had his eye socket punched in, a kidney taken out, a bone chip in his ankle that won't heal, and he was shot 8 times. Damn. He didn't like his dad, but his dad taught him one thing that would make him relevant to the crime world. He taught him how to crack a safe. See, Willie was a master of cracking safes for as little as 3 minutes. He is in and out, but the first thing he must do is find out what these safes are, and he did, in malls. And how did he do this in malls? By dressing up as Santa during the Christmas holiday. He does this 30 days out of the year from December 1st to December 30th. I want to say November 24th to December 24th, but his helper said that he would call him in the 1st of December, referring that was the first day.
If I call you next December, if I call you next December.
In the springtime, he dresses up as the Easter Bunny in the mall. I think his family was into cosplay his whole life because he naturally grew up playing characters. He even had a picture with his mom where he played an elf. I think this is from the time where his very first crime came from. When I mentioned it was from his mom because later she reunites with him and needs him again, but let me back up for a second. He moves around the country like Wisconsin, Phoenix, Chicago, Miami, and even out of the country include Mexico. That 1970 Chevy Caprice must got a lot of miles on it that he owns. Wisconsin tags. I'm trying to see if this is where he is originally from as an adult. I don't know, but I do know that he liked to rely on his partner. He's not a normal partner. He's an can I say it? A midget. But out of respect for him, I just call him a little person like he wants.
It's not about the money or the midget. Believe me, I don't think they like midget. I think you're supposed to call them,
Marcus is basically the brains of the operation on how to get the jobs and scooping out the place for the alarm systems. Job number 1, that's what we get to see. Now, I have no idea where this job is at. All I can go off is the O'Hara Pub and the Gurryard store. No information, nowhere. The closest thing I could get was a getaway van license plate. With a side-by-side comparison, it looks similar to a Wisconsin plate just like on his car. So first job, Wisconsin. The plan was to wait until the customers and security leave the store, and when the guard cuts on the alarm, Marcus would dress up as a snowman, run to the alarm and cut it off. Well, that was a success. They get inside the mall to the safe and crack it open for the amount of $111,000. That's pretty good for a 3-minute job. That's around $56,000 a piece, but Willie is horrible with money. He had unpaid credit card bills, no car insurance, can't even manage the simplest bills. Job number 1 for the Christmas holiday of 2002 was a success, so might as well just plan for job number 2 because who wouldn't? Now, it's 2003 and job number 2 is in Phoenix, Arizona at Saguaro Square Mall. The plan is to go in, Marcus get the security system information, and Willie break into the safe and just go scot-free, but of course things don't go as smooth. They were made even before the robbery went down. The head of security looked into the names that was given to put on the application, but it couldn't be traced. So he did a little more investigating himself, and boom, we got action. He found out that the job they were about to do was actually job number 8. They had hit 7 cities prior to the heist, and they give a different name for each time they moved. Instead of calling the police, he wanted in 50% of the cut himself, and they have no choice but to agree. Marcus wasn't about to give up that much money, so he had Mr. Security executed. He caused him to jump his van and ran his car into him when he jumped it. Clean setup. The show must go on, so Christmas Eve when they were about to break into the safe, Willie took over an hour. It wasn't a breakable safe, but he did it, and once it was open, Marcus turned the gun on him. Marcus is trying to catch another body. He's already a cold-blooded killer, but lo and behold, the police were already there waiting on the job for the robbery. Now, how did this happen? Well, when Willie moved to Phoenix, he was being followed by the police for previous robberies, and they trashed the hotel, so he befriended a little boy in the mall that came to see him when he was dressed up as Santa. He ended up moving in with Thurman and his grandmother by first robbing them of the cash and car. He liked Thurman so much that he wrote a letter to the cops to tell them about his naughty work and told Thurman to make sure they get it because Willie was about to off himself. Bro stayed trying to take himself out. This must have been from all the childhood trauma he faced and adult trauma too. Since Thurman came through for his wish, he came through for Thurman's wish, a gift for Christmas, an elephant. Willie is now a snitch. He didn't get a prison sentence because he cooperated with the police, but he has been to prison before for a robbery. He was locked up with Andy Pizzarelli, who told him that he couldn't break the Kittner boy's safe. It took him over an hour to break. Job 2 is done, and Marcus is gone for a while. Now, it's 2016, and Willie is working a regular job. Here's a valet parker and a corner store worker at Eddie's, and guess who's back in town? Marcus. And he comes with a sob story, and he asks if they can do one last job that's worth a whopping $2 million. Well, Willie couldn't refuse, and job number 3 is underway. Job number 3 is in the Windy City of Chicago, Illinois, and they plan to hit a charity event during SantaCon as Randall Cook. This mission isn't just him and Marcus this time, but Sonny, his mom. She is back in the picture and she needs his help like I mentioned before. The plan is basically like hitting the Salvation Army. You collect money, and on Christmas Eve when the charity is waiting on the armored truck to transport the money, they will rob the safe before he gets there. Having a sit down, we finally find out why he liked dressing up as Santa. See, he used to dress up as an elf all the time, but he would be so embarrassed that he would have panic attacks that made him become Santa. Moms tell everything.
We had Willie. He was my original elf. Remember those times, Willie? Well, he'd get panic attacks. It was embarrassing. I had to make him stay outside when I was turning a trick or bowling.
Well, it's robbery night, and they get into the safe, but they are made once again by security once again. They have a horrible track record by security. They take the money and go to the alley. It's Marcus, Willie, and Sonny, and it's like a Spider-Man reveal when he sees himself 3 times. Everyone has a gun pointed at each other because Marcus is once again turned on Willie and also Sonny. And now I see why he hates her. She has no love for her own son. Now check this out. Guess who breaks up the showdown again? The police. Yup, just like the last job, police showed up to save Willie's ass. In the end, they all get caught with Willie not doing jail time because he tells the police about his mom. In the end, Willie starts his family over with Thurman Merman, and everybody has a Merry Christmas, and to you, Merry Christmas. Peace.